Literacy is the ability to read and write, and illiteracy is the inability to read and write. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, because Muslims worldwide have the tendency to say that the Prophet Muhammad was illiterate, and this is just one of those traditional Islamic lies that really needs to stop, for it is not true. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in. Now, this ignorance stems from Muslims not really knowing what they're talking about. What happened was, during Muhammad's encounter with Jibril, or Gabriel, he told Muhammad to ikra, which means to read, and Muhammad answered saying, Ma ana bakariyan, which means I am not a reader, in the Quraysh dialect in which Muhammad did speak. Now, if Muhammad spoke in classical Arabic, which he did not, he would have responded saying, Ana lastu min akariyan. However, Muhammad was speaking a very bad dialect of Arabic himself, that is still being spoken to this very day. The Prophet Muhammad was simply telling Jibril, or Gabriel, that he was not well learnt in the scriptures of old, in which Gabriel brought for him to read from. This did not mean that Muhammad could not read Arabic. The problem was, he was just not able to read such an eloquent form of Arabic as found in the Torah and the scriptures before, which according to Hebraic teaching rendered him a Gentile. What many people don't realize is that Hebrew and Arabic is really the same language. Now, religious people who use this word Gentile would have you think that this word is referring to a barbaric or heathen group of people, when in actuality the word itself means a nation of people. In the modern Hebrew, the word Gentile is go'i, and it also means nation. The Arabic word for Gentile is Umma, which comes from the root word which is defined as mother, source, origin, basis, foundation, and original. Even when you look at the word Gentile in English, the definition of the word means of the same clan, yet it is often left to mean people that are not of the Jewish faith or Christian faith, a pagan or heathen who have no belief in a deity. But in actuality, the word Gentile pertains to a people's genes or genetics of the same clan. That's all.
Message!
The Arabic word used in the Quran for Gentile is Ummi. However, you'll find that many Muslims will incorrectly translate this word Ummi as illiterate or unlettered, as in Quran 7:158, where they identify Muhammad as al-Nabi al-Ummi, said to mean the unlettered or illiterate prophet, which is not true. Going back to my original point, Muhammad simply could not read that book in that particular language which Gabriel first brought to him. No difference if any of you were walking down the street and walked up to the average man or woman from a village who was not very educated and asked them to read from an ancient Arabic Quran without the nuqtas or dots or vowels. They would not be able to read it. Even to this very day, the average Arabic speaking Muslim cannot read Arabic without the dots. To make it simpler for English speaking people, who is really my true concern, if you are given a play or story from William Shakespeare's time to read and you are not learned in Old English, you would not be able to read it clearly. Likewise, the Prophet Muhammad was not able to read or write Syriac Arabic. He only spoke Quraysh dialect of Arabic, just like most Arabs do today. So don't believe the lie that he could not read or write at all, as many Muslims will try to make you believe. So, Muhammad not only can and could read and write, he was also a successful merchant. Why is this important? You see, he was hired by Khadijah, who later became his wife, to control the buying and selling and trade of her personal business, which was extremely profitable, might I add. A great merchant is a good communicator, both oral and written. So an illiterate person would not be able to do such a great job at being a merchant.
Message!
Now, I would like to point out another actual fact which confirms that the Prophet Muhammad can read and write. There is an actual letter that was handwritten by the Prophet Muhammad himself in the Quraysh dialect. Exhibit A. This is an actual handwritten letter agreed upon by your scholars from the Prophet Muhammad to Muqawqis. This original document is now kept in Topkapi Museum in Istanbul, Turkey. And note, the handwriting of Muhammad compared to the modern Quran you see today, just look for yourself. You do not see any dots anywhere in Muhammad's letter. They didn't even have a number system back then, so the Quranic verses and chapters didn't even exist originally. You should be asking yourself now, why isn't the Quran written in the same script that the Prophet Muhammad wrote the letter in? Being that the Quran was written in Muhammad's own tongue, which is Quraysh dialect, according to Quran 44:58, where it states, "Verily, we have made this Quran easy in thy tongue in order that they may give heed."
Message!
This is one of the most widely misunderstood and misinterpreted verse that many so-called scholars use to make Muhammad appear illiterate, when he was not. You know, traveling broadens the scope. And I say that because what is sad is, if you ever travel throughout the Muslim world, you will discover that most Muslims worldwide cannot read, write, and speak Arabic fluently. Today, the entire Arab world speaks a very poor dialect of Arabic according to their own country, which in most cases is mixed with other languages such as Greek, Spanish, French, English, Bantu, and many others. You'll find that each Arab country have created their own form of Arabic, and this is the reason why they do not collectively understand the Quran.
Message!
And a very important last point I'd like to make for this lesson is that do not let these racist pale Arabs tell you that you are not pronouncing words correctly, when there are at least 25 different dialects of Arabic. What that means is, if you speak to an Arabian, Moroccan, Pakistani, Egyptian, or Sudanese, you will find that they all pronounce the same Arabic words slightly different. They like to pretend to the non-Arabic speaking world as if they are speaking one form of Arabic, when they are not. The question would be, which Arabic speaking country is actually pronouncing words correctly for you, Mr. Pale Arab?
Message!
These are the dangerous games they like to play with non-Arabic speaking people. I'm Kefre, and this is Back to the Basic. Like, share, and subscribe. Facts we stated, you wanna know something, go back to basics. Most saw trapping was called the Matrix. The world filled with lies, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness.